Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm really excited for today's video because it is going to be update number 8 in my Pan Those Eyeshadows series. This was inspired by Lexi's original Pan Those Eyeshadows series that I believe she started in 2017. It was either 2017 or 2016, and I had tweaked the way that I was personally doing mine, and I've decided that I'm gonna do mine the way that I've seen Rebecca Morgan and Too Much Tosh do theirs, because I'm just feeling super uninspired by the way that I am currently doing mine. And I've done it in a way where I'm using these same 19, so my goal is to hit pan on 19 shadows in the year 2019, and I've just been focused on like the same eyeshadows throughout all of the year, and I feel like I'm not getting enough use out of the rest of my palette collection. So I am going to be changing the way that I'm doing this. I was going to just tough it out through the rest of the year, but this past month I just felt so uninspired. I did end up hitting pan on one eyeshadow, but other than that I feel like I've had like no progress in any of my other palettes, and it was just getting to be like a lot with like bringing all the eyeshadow palettes over for filming, and just like it was a lot. So we're gonna be changing up the way that I'm doing this project, so I hope that doesn't bother you guys. I know I've read in the comments that you guys want me to change the way that I do this to the way that most other people are doing it next year, so I'm hoping most of you will be excited about these changes. So if you're interested in seeing my progress, then stay tuned. But first, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you will consider doing so before you go. I post videos every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And without further ado, let's get into this update. All right, you guys, so up until this point I had hit pan on 8 other eyeshadows. I've mentioned this in a couple of recent videos, but my daughter ended up getting into my makeup stash again, and she ended up ruining all of the single shadows that I had pulled, which pains my heart, as well as some other favorites. So there are a couple of pans, I believe it was 2 other pans that I had hit that they're destroyed, and I won't even be able to show you. I didn't bring any of my other palettes over that I had previously hit pan on either. If you guys are interested in seeing any of my previous updates, I'll link the playlist for this project down below. But the pan that I was able to hit this month comes from the e.l.f. Mad for Mattes palette, and I don't even know if you guys will be able to see, but I can see the pan in this 3rd shade right here. I hope if I tilt it just the right way, you'll be able to see it's like right up here. So hoping that you'll be able to see that pan, meaning that total so far I've hit pan on 9 eyeshadows this year, which means I'm not even halfway to my goal. So the way that I'm going to do this now is I have all of my eyeshadow palettes listed, as well as like all of the single pans within those palettes, and I'm going to randomly select 5 numbers that correlate to those eyeshadows, and then I'm going to work on those 5 eyeshadows until I hit pan, and I'll roll in a new eyeshadow. Again, I will link Lexi's channel down below, I'll link Rebecca Morgan's, I will link Too Much Tosh's, my friend Emily McKennis is doing it too. Anyone who is doing a project like this, I will link down below. Sarah Rose is doing one, and doing it like where she just chooses 5 new eyeshadows every single month, which I really like. So I'll link a bunch of videos down below. I know personally this has been one of my favorite projects to both like participate in as well as film this year, so I personally love watching the Pan Those Eyeshadows videos. Okay, so embarrassingly enough, including my single shadows as well as all of the pans in all of my eyeshadow palettes, I have 994 eyeshadows. I am decluttering quite a few palettes from my collection. I'm going to film a video later this week about the palettes that I'm decluttering, so none of those are listed in here. I'm hoping that I didn't forget any of my palettes, but anyway. So we're going to go into the random app, random number, pretty random. Ugh, it's really hot and humid, even though it's like rainy and drizzly, chilly, but even though it's like rainy and chilly outside, I'm like super hot right now. I'm not feeling the best. My throat really hurts. Okay, so we're gonna randomly generate a number between 1 and 994. We're gonna randomly generate 5 numbers. So first up we get number 541, and I'm just gonna screenshot each of these numbers so I don't forget. And then we get number 506, Come on. Shake it up. Come on. There we go. Number 659. Maybe I'll just have to hit this. Okay, 2 more. So number 610. And then number, sorry if my light is like glaring, 776. Ooh, also you guys, I'm trying out one of the 5 new foundations that I purchased, and I feel like the shade is shockingly too light for me. I didn't know that there was a shade that could be too light for me when I'm really fair, which I already am. We'll see how it goes when I like go to edit, but I'm like feeling like my face is really fair. Okay, so I am going to go grab the eyeshadows slash palettes that each of those 5 numbers correlates to, and I will be right back. Alright guys, I've got 5 of the palettes. I don't know what shades yet. I haven't like opened the palettes to see what the shades are yet, so you'll be seeing my reaction like firsthand. I know already. So the 5 palettes that I got were the ColourPop Perception, the Milani Bold Obsessions, the Natasha Denona Sunrise, which I am excited about, but also at the same time this is a new palette to my collection this year, so part of me is like, ugh, I don't know if I want to pan it this soon, but also like I bought it to use it, which is like the whole point of project panning. So I got this. I got my Tartelette in Bloom, which I do have 3 pans already on this palette. If the shade that I randomly selected is one that I have pan on, I'll just repick a new eyeshadow. And this is the one that like I'm not all that excited about. I was considering decluttering this palette. This is the Morphe Artistry palette. I'll open it up and we can take a peek. Oh yeah, I forgot my daughter has like dragged her finger through all the shades. I am a little worried to see which shade it is in here. I'm not gonna count yet. I'm gonna go in order that these palettes were selected. So up first we have the Milani Bold Obsessions palette, and I have the 3rd eyeshadow in here from the top. So it's this one right here, which this looks like it won't be, this isn't like a scary shade. It's literally just like a satin bone colored shade. I don't think you'll even be able to see it swatched here. So I feel like that will be a very easy shade to hit pan on. I feel like I could get away with like using that as a lid setting shade. So that is shadow number 1. Next up we had the Perception palette. Oh, funny. And funnily enough, I got the shade Culture right here, which I actually was working on in the previous like way that I was doing this project. I'm not feeling the best today, so my brain is like not working. And this is just like a really nice transition shade. I really do like the Perception palette. I love the ColourPop formula. So I will take pictures of like where we're at as far as like what each shadow's looking like. This one, it looks like it's been used a few times, but there's no like visible dip in it. So that is that one. I don't think that one will be a difficult one to use either. Okay, next up is the Natasha Denona Sunrise, and I'm really excited to see the shade that, kind of a boring one, that I got. So I got the shade Laurel, which is this one right here, and this is just like a champagne shimmer. There it is right there. It looks super beautiful. It shouldn't be like hard to use. It's almost like a peachy champagne. Very pretty. This one should be an easy one for me to use. Like this, I can get away with all over the lid at work, so I don't think I'll have a tough time using that. Again, I'm just like, I don't know if I want to pan this one so soon, but I didn't buy it for it to just sit in my collection. So okay, so next up we have my Tartelette in Bloom, and I have the 6th shade, which I haven't hit pan on. It is the shade Smarty Pants, another just like transition color. Wow, I feel like I have the most boring color palette to date. There is Smarty Pants right there. I love the Tartelette in Bloom palette, you guys. It's one of my favorite in my collection, so I'm not mad that this got pulled in. And this is a super easy shade that I can just like use all over the lid if I'm in a rush for work. This already has a dip going. I do know that the Tartelette in Bloom palette shadows are very firmly pressed. So like this Flower Child shade I thought wasn't going to take me a long time to hit pan, like once I had a really good dip going, but then it just was like the shadow that never ended. So I do feel like this will take me a good chunk of time to get through, but excited to have the Tartelette in Bloom palette going in this project. Okay, and then finally we have the Morphe Artistry palette, and here's where it's going to get a little interesting. So this is the shade that I selected, and I feel like on screen it looks like just a deep brown, but it's more of like a plum, like a deep plum. Let's swatch this one, and I feel like dark matte shades. Oops, I accidentally swatched that over that Smarty Pants shade, my bad. Yeah, so it is definitely more of like a plum purple shade. So that's gonna be, this is gonna be a tough one. Definitely gonna be a tough one, just because I don't go in with like super dark colors when I am going to work, and I feel like on the weekends or like when I'm filming, I'm always like wanting to try like I already have an idea in mind of what I want to try, and it's usually like either a mosquito bit me. And it's usually either like a new palette in my collection or like something that I've specifically gone online to search for. So this will be interesting. All the rest of the shades I feel like are very neutral and kind of, I don't want to say boring, but very, very neutral and should be easy to use. So I'll be really interested to see if kind of changing up the way that I'm doing this project helps me hit pan on more shades. I at least hope that it'll help me feel like I'm cycling through my palette collection a little bit more and like seeing more palettes within my collection. I'm really excited about the changes to these projects, and again, I'm really excited about the changes to this project, and again, I hope that you guys are too. Let me know if you are currently participating or doing your own version of Pan Those Eyeshadows. If you have an Instagram that I should go follow, leave it down below. If you have a YouTube channel that I've somehow missed your Pan Those Eyeshadows videos, leave me a link for your channel or your videos down below. I love supporting Pan Those Eyeshadows. Again, one of my favorite projects to do. Thank you so much, Lexi, for creating this. It's been so fun that so many people have gotten on board with this project this year. So anyway, you guys, thank you so much for sticking around to watch this video, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.